Hey guys! I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. I'm so grateful that you guys are listening, subscribing, and commenting on my channel. I really appreciate the support. In this video, I wanted to speak to you guys about how I believe that the reason why we have so many transactional relationships on this planet right now, among all the human beings on this planet. And by transactional relationships, I mean relationships in which there is a distinct give and take, where one party receives something and the other party gives something to the other party, to the other person. And this kind of give and take is the basis for this relationship. And the reason I believe that it's become so common for these kind of relationships to exist or to thrive is because I feel like there's a distinct myth about love in this world. And this myth has been perpetuated by society in general because the more this myth is perpetuated, the more consumerism can thrive, right? And this is not a conspiracy theory, in my opinion. I think I've been thinking about this a lot for the past few weeks, and I really feel like there's a distinct connection between the two. So I'll step back a little bit and I'll explain to you guys what I think and what I've kind of garnered from my reflections. The reason why, and this is really applicable to me and in my own life and my relationships, the reason why I believe that I need to be in a relationship where I need to give something to the other person, and that's the only way they will stay with me. Right? There's this distinct thought in my head, and it's perpetuated over and over again because I believe that I'm not good enough. And if I was good enough, then I would just be with people just because I'm good enough to be with a person, just in a relationship, right? I'm good enough to be loved. But because I believe that I'm not good enough and I'm not worthy enough to be in a relationship with other people or to be with other people or for other people to love me, that means that I have to give something to them for them to be with me, right? So I have to work really hard at perhaps taking care of my body and being really fit, or perhaps I have to make a lot of good food for them, or I have to make a lot of money so I can buy nice things for them. There's a lot of different things I could do depending on the person in order to give something to them so that they will stay with me, right? And so that's a basis of a transactional relationship. It's not based on love necessarily, but a transaction. You're receiving and giving something in order to stay together or in order to prove to each other that you love each other. It's not enough that I am loved for being me. I am not enough to be loved that way. And this thought or this idea that I'm not enough or you're not worthy or you're not good enough to be loved by other people just as you are is the basis for consumerism. It's the basis for the society that we live in. If you were good enough as you are and you didn't need to change the way your knees look or the way your face looks or the way your hair looks, if you didn't need to change all of that stuff, if you were happy with the way you were, then, and I'm not saying this for everyone, I'm just saying this for myself particularly, then if I was good enough as I was, then I wouldn't have to change anything. And if I didn't have to change anything, a lot of my consumeristic behaviors would be destroyed, right? I would not need to buy new clothes because I would not feel that urge to be like, oh my God, I feel unworthy. Maybe if I buy a new pair of shoes, I'll feel better about myself or I'll be able to attract my mate even better, right? And that's obviously the basis for consumerism. A lot of the stuff that we buy isn't stuff that we actually need or desire or want. It's stuff that I've been told or we've been told over and over again that if we bought this, we will be more attractive to the other person, or we will be enhanced as a human being, and our worthiness in the world will be increased. Which means that if we feel unworthy, which a lot, I would say 99% of the population on this planet feels unworthy of being loved, then if you feel unworthy, then you need to do all of these things in order to be loved, right? So you need to get surgery done, or you need to buy new clothes, really expensive designer clothes somehow, perhaps, because that makes the other person love you more somehow. You need to buy all these different kinds of food, you need to buy all these supplements, you need to live in a certain area, you need to buy a certain kind of car, you need to do a certain kind of job, and all of this enhances our consumeristic tendencies, right? But I think the essence of all of this, and I've been really, as I said, I've really been reflecting on it. I think the essence of all of it is the fact that we believe that there is a limit on the love in the world. There is a limit on the love that someone can feel for someone else. There's a limit on how much love they can feel for us in our current state of being, in our current being of like the person that we are right now is unworthy of being loved as we are, right? And there's a limit to how much they could love us as we are. We are standing here and we look all right, we're fine, we're not perfect, we have a lot of flaws. And of course, the person standing next to us, or the person that we're interested in, or our relationship, that person cannot love us as we are. It's not possible for them to love us as we are. If it was possible, then we wouldn't need to do all of these random things in order to make them love us. Now, of course, what happens, and that's the reason consumeristic societies work really well, and that's the reason our economy is thriving so much in this world, the reason why we're pulling from the earth's resources so much, is because you are never worthy enough, right? There's always something more that you can improve. So, for example, you got your nose done because you're told that if you got your nose done, then you'd be more attractive to society. So you got your nose done. You spent thousands of dollars on it, or whatever it is. I don't know how much it cost. And you got into debt for it, and you couldn't really afford it, but you were like, well, I want to really be in a relationship. And it seems like everyone who comes into contact with me, they don't love me because of my nose. Of course, it has to be the nose. It can't be anything else. So we change our nose and we spend money on it. We get into debt for it, and we are stuck in a job because we have to pay off our debt. And unfortunately, what happens is that because you change your nose, your entire face structure changes. And so in order to accommodate the changed nose, you have to now change your eyes. And then you have to change your lips, and then you have to change your jawline, and then you have to change the way you dress, and you have to buy new clothes because your face doesn't match the clothes that you wear anymore. And then you obviously have to move to a different apartment because the apartment you lived in before was shabby, and now you're not as shabby, and you need to move to a different place, and etc., etc. The cycle keeps on going on because it's not just one thing that you're going to change and everything's going to be perfect. Constant change is required, and constant consumerism is required in order for you to become, or to keep on moving towards that goal of becoming worthy. Now, unfortunately, obviously, there is this distinct unworthiness epidemic in the world. I feel like the more people I speak to, the more I realize, and I'm not including myself, I obviously include myself in the picture as well. But the more people I speak to, the more I realize that unworthiness is one of those things that is an epidemic. It literally is something that engulfs and is in every single person, almost every single person that I talk to. Right? And it's not because it has roots obviously in childhood and the way we were raised and the way our parents spoke to us, or our caregivers, but also has a lot to do with the constant marketing and advertising that we're subjected to, that tells us almost on daily or second by second basis that we're not good enough. They're better than you. They have a better car than you. They're better than you. They have a better house than you. They're better than you. They're better at taking care of their kids. They're better than you. They have a better body than you. They're better than you. There's so many different ways. There are people around you on TV, on all the advertisements that we see in magazines, on billboards, on TTC, or like metro station advertising. There's advertising everywhere. And if you watch even a few minutes of TV a day, there's a lot of advertising that you're being subjected to. YouTube has so much advertising. Every website you go to has advertising. A lot of times you're walking on the street, and the street itself has advertising engraved upon it. And so it's very hard for you to get away from the messages that are being ascribed to you that you are not good enough, you're not worthy, no matter what you do, because you could do a lot of different things, right? I mean, you could go and change this, you could change that, you could become this person, you could become that person, you could do a lot of different things in order to enhance yourself. But as I said, that unworthiness is an ingrained part of you, because no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, you're never going to get there, because all of that unworthiness is coming from outside of you, right? All the messages are coming from outside of you. once you realize as an awakened spiritual being, or as a being in general, that you're not unworthy because you were placed on this planet by a superior being that knows so much more, that you are worthy and you are worthy as you are, no matter what you do. You don't need to do anything. It's good if you do things and you enhance yourself and improve yourself and do all those things. It's obviously a fun thing to do, but it's not necessary. You can be as you are, and you should be or could be accepted and loved even as you are right now in this moment in time. And so that connection, I feel, between transactional relationships and consumerism, I'm sure has been drawn before, but I really wanted to do a video on it because I've been thinking about it a lot, and I feel like that connection is so powerful that it is a part of who we are, of the society that we live in. Again, if you guys have any questions at all about this video or any other videos that I've done, please message me anytime. All of my contact information is in the description below, or you can comment below. I reply to all comments. I read and reply to all comments. Once or twice a week, I'll go through all the comments, I'll read them, I'll take notes on them. A lot of the comments I really love, and I'll save them in a document and I'll read them occasionally. And a lot of your suggestions on videos, I actually use them to create videos, so please keep them coming. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you guys the next time around. Bye for now.